If you got enough money to invest in the dollar menu, then you got enough money to invest in some stocks and to start building your wealth through your stock portfolio.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Ace, and welcome to the first official installment of Wealth Wednesday. In today's topic, we will be discussing the 5 most effective ways to spend your stimulus check. If you're new to the channel, welcome, shalom. Here at Ace Estate, we teach you the financial finesse, how to save and invest so that your life ain't a mess. If you get any value out of this video, make sure you like and leave a comment and subscribe. And with that out the way, let's get to this money. All right, so peep game, right, y'all? The job market, the economy, and the world period, honestly, has not been in the best state recently. Being on fake house arrest has been difficult for all of us. But to quote this crazy old German guy, in the middle of difficulty is opportunity. So I'm here to talk about some ways that I think that you could be sending your stimulus check or any other additional money that you have lying around to make sure that you come out of this pandemic better than how you went it. The first thing that I have on this imaginary list for you guys is to pay off or to make a large lump sum principal payment towards any high interest debt that you have right now. I know. It's not the most interesting option, sure. But before we can get to the bag, we got to build our financial foundation, guys. So according to USA Today, the U.S. has just hit a record high $1.1 trillion in outstanding credit card as well as revolving debt. And the average U.S. citizen now has about $6,200 worth of personal debt. So using that stimulus check to be able to pay off or to make a large lump sum towards any current debt that you have will free up some more of your monthly cash flow, in addition to give you the best guaranteed return on investment. To give you a hypothetical situation, let's say that you had a credit card with an outstanding balance of about $1,000. And let's say that you had an annual percentage rate or APR of 25%. If you only had a $25 minimum, then it would take you almost 90 months to pay off the loan. And you would accumulate almost $900 in interest.
Damn!
Now, if you took $120 of that stimulus check, which is only about 1/10 of what the total check is worth, and you put that towards the principal payment of that loan, you would be able to save almost 26 months and about $290 worth of interest. The next thing that I got on my list, once you pay down some of that debt, is to establish an emergency fund. The textbook definition of an emergency fund is funds that are put aside to cover unexpected mishaps and expenses. But I would rather call it a real life insurance. Life happens to all of us, and we all face some type of uncertainty, whether that's a transmission going out, a fire, a flood, whatever. So it's important for us to prepare as well as budget for these losses. Think of this money as a shield or an extra life, so that when life hits you, you can dust it off and keep going. While you could keep this money in the same bank that you already bank with, or keep it in a shoebox somewhere, that runs the risk of you thinking that you going to the club on Friday is a life or death circumstance. So I personally would recommend you putting it in an online bank. The edge that these smaller online banks have over these larger national banks is that since they are not as well known, they have to commit all of their time, their effort, and their energy into providing the best services possible. So they have some of the highest interest rates or yields on their savings accounts, as well as the lowest fees or little to no fees, no minimums, and no BS. Me personally, I use Discover. They have a 1.15% savings account as well as a 1% cashback debit card. Some other good options are Ally Bank and American Express Savings, which offer a 1.25 and a 1.15 savings account respectively. It also wouldn't be a worse idea to take the money and put it into a local credit union if they offer similar perks. The goal is to eventually save up to a full $1,000 emergency fund, but for right now, we'll just take $400 out that check and we'll set it aside for that now. Number 3 on our list is to establish a flexible budget and then begin to save up 3 to 6 months of monthly living expenses. When you have a stockpile of reserves, it gives you the reassurance and peace of mind that if something unforeseen happens,
Say a worldwide pandemic, I don't know,
that you would be able to continue to live your life in the same structure and level that you are currently at for an extended period of time, even if you are unemployed. The keys to building wealth, as well as establishing a successful budget, is to know how much money you spend and be spending that money and utilizing that money strategically and intentionally. While there are apps and stuff available that allow you to track your monthly spending, I think the easiest and most effective way to do so is to just open the Notes app on your phone and to write out an estimate of how much money you think you spend in a month. Then divide it up into some key categories such as housing, food, clothing, entertainment, etc. and then track each one of your expenses over the month. If you do that for about a month or two, then you'll have a rough estimate of how much money you spend each month, and then you can add additional categories and make adjustments as needed. I suggest matching that $400 that you put into the emergency fund earlier, and then setting up automatic transfers to fund the rest later. The reason why most people can't stick to or don't find budgets effective is because they feel like it's too controlling and that it's taking away the things that they love. I instead would encourage you to double down on the things that you care about and instead cut out the expenses that you don't really care about. That's the difference between being frugal and being cheap. I have created a complete cash in, cash out money management system that has helped me create my budget. If you guys would like for me to do a more in-depth video on that and to share some of the categories that I've personally come up with, make sure that you like this video and leave a comment down below. The fourth thing I have on my list for you guys is to start making small investments into the stock market. Stocks allow you to have small ownership stakes in U.S. as well as international companies and corporations. Stocks, just like life, are uncertain, but historically they have returned between 8 to 12% annually before inflation. In the past, it has been very difficult as well as expensive to invest in stocks. But now with apps such as Acorn, Robinhood, and Cash App offering fractional shares, zero commission fees, business articles, roundups, and automatic deposits, if you got enough money to invest in the dollar menu, then you got enough money to invest in some stocks and to start building your wealth through your stock portfolio. If you are ready to start investing, I've added some of my personal referral links down below in the description that'll offer you a couple extra bonuses. But I did want to preface by saying that I do not have any type of business relationships or ties or sponsorships to any of these companies. Although, I definitely wouldn't mind doing some business. So, hey, yo, Robinhood, text my phone. But these are just some companies and some apps that I've found useful and that have been helpful to me. So I thought that I'd recommend them to you. If you know any better investing apps or any other better websites or banks that people could check out, make sure that you double back and that you put them in the comments for myself as well as for the squad. As far as what to invest in, I'll leave completely up to you. However, you do have a plethora of options. You have individual stocks as well as mutual funds, ETFs, and index funds, which allow you to invest in broad exposure to the market through the funds such as the ones that Vanguard offers. We got about $280 left from the money that we had left in our stimulus check, so we're going to split that down the middle, put $140 in the stocks, and we're going to save this last $140 for the finale. The fifth and final way that I think that you could spend your stimulus check is by investing in yourself through personal development or the launching of a side hustle or business. The greatest investment that you will ever make that will give you the best returns every single time is an investment in yourself. While a 9 to 5 is how you survive, I don't think any of us should just be seeking to survive. We should be seeking to thrive. And in order to do that, we got to build up cash flow and we got to build up some different streams of income. There are two types of income, passive and active. And those two types of income can be broken down into about 8 various different streams. The average millionaire has roughly 6 to 7 streams of income. But to become financially wealthy and free and independent, you probably might only need 3 to 4. So you might as well start working on them now. And the best way to start working on them is to learn a new skill. There are tens of thousands of self-help, personal development, business, entrepreneurship, and investing books out there that you could be reading or that you could be listening to. And if you don't want to make a money investment, there's also thousands and thousands of hours of YouTube content here on this platform that can teach you just about anything that you want to know about almost any business related topic. And if you've been looking for a way to finally launch your business, with Fiverr, you could get your logo done and just about almost any other work that you need to get done for whatever price point that you're at. So it's absolutely no reason and no excuse that you can't take that last $140 and make an investment in your business. Literally. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our first installment of Wealth Wednesday and my 5 suggestions of the most effective ways that you could be spending your stimulus check. I hope you guys found this video entertaining as well as got some value from it. If you did, make sure you share it, that you like, and that you comment. Any thoughts and suggestions that you have, and I hope to see you guys back here next